After 40 years in the wilderness, the people of Israel stood on the edge of destiny. Before them rose the city of Jericho, a fortress sealed by stone, fear, and human strength. Its walls seemed impenetrable, a monument to defiance standing against the promise God had made. This was their first great test in the promised land, a challenge that would define their future. The entire nation looked to one man for guidance, a leader burdened with the weight of this impossible task. Joshua, the chosen successor to Moses, sought direction from the Lord. Alone, under the vast canopy of the night sky, he wrestled with the immense responsibility on his shoulders. How could they conquer such a city? Suddenly, a mysterious warrior appeared before him, radiant with a sword drawn in his hand. This was no ordinary soldier, it was the commander of the Lord's army. Joshua fell to his face in reverence, and in that sacred moment, God answered, not with a plan of war, but with a call to obedience. "Remove your sandals from your feet," the commander said. "For the place where you stand is holy." The divine command was simple and strange. There would be no siege engines, no battering rams, no grand military assault. Instead, the priests were to take up the Ark of the Covenant, the symbol of God's presence, and lead the army. Their instructions were to march around the city, once each day for 6 days, but they were to do so in complete silence. No battle cry, no clash of swords, just the sound of their feet on the dry earth, a silent procession of faith circling a city of fear. So the march began. Day after day, they walked, the mighty army of Israel, silent, the priests bearing the holy ark, and from the towering walls, the soldiers of Jericho watched, first with confusion, then with mockery and contempt. What kind of army was this? What strange ritual were they performing? Each day was a test of patience, a test of discipline. No shouts were uttered, no weapons were raised. There was only faith, tested by silence, and the rhythmic sound of footsteps echoing the promise of God. The tension grew with every circuit, an unseen battle being waged in the spiritual realm. On the 7th day, everything changed. They rose before dawn, the air thick with anticipation. They began to march again, not once, not twice, but 7 times. The circles grew tighter, the pace quicker. You could feel the atmosphere shift. The silent procession became a powerful display of relentless obedience. The taunts from the walls faded into nervous silence as the Israelites completed the 3rd lap, then the 4th, then the 6th. With each revolution around the city, the spiritual pressure mounted, a divine energy coiling like a spring, ready to be released. After the 7th and final lap, the army came to a halt. Joshua raised his hand. The priests lifted their shofars, the ram's horns, to their lips. A profound silence fell over the entire plain, a quiet so deep it felt louder than any noise. And then, Joshua gave the command. He cried out, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city." At that moment, a sound unlike any other erupted. The deafening blast of the shofars tore through the air, followed by a thunderous, unified shout from the entire nation, a single voice of pure, unadulterated faith. The ground began to tremble. The very foundations of Jericho shook. Cracks spider-webbed across the massive stone walls. Then, with a cataclysmic roar, the walls did not just crumble, they collapsed, falling outward into a heap of dust and rubble. The impossible had happened. The impenetrable city was laid bare. Jericho did not fall by human strength, but by divine power. It was not conquered by military strategy, but by radical obedience. As the Israelites entered the city, they saw that God's word was true. The victory was his alone. Standing amidst the ruins, Joshua looked upon the fulfillment of God's promise, his heart filled with awe and gratitude. It was a lesson etched into the heart of the nation forever. When God fights for his people, no wall can stand. Faith, even today, still has the power to move what seems immovable. If this story blessed you, please like, share, and subscribe to help us continue to spread these powerful messages of faith. Thank you for watching.